Hey everyone, Kevin here with Divinely Designed, and today I have a little bit of a more unusual video. I thought I would do kind of a haul, sort of essential oil smell review. I ordered a bunch of sort of, not sample sizes, but smaller sizes of essential oils of ones that I've never smelled before, and maybe a little bit on the more unusual kind of ends, ones you don't necessarily see all the time. And I thought it'd be, fun just to smell them and do a review for you guys and let you know what I think of them. I did smell these when I first got them, like on the day they got shipped to me. I unwrapped them and I smelled all of them. But that was a couple days ago, and I haven't really smelled them since. So while this isn't necessarily my first impression, it's pretty close. I really haven't smelled these that much, so I don't really know what they smell like. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but I'll give you my impressions of them. The only exception to that is I do have a spearmint in here, and spearmint smells like spearmint. I love spearmint. It's so funny, I hardly ever, I don't know why I don't use spearmint. I use peppermint a lot. I love peppermint. This happens to be an India spearmint, and it smells so good. It's very sweet smelling, but very minty, right? Most people know what spearmint smells like, and this smells pretty classic spearmint. So that's not necessarily a very unusual one, but the rest are a little bit more unusual. Okay, so let's get started. And then I have the comments from New Directions, how they describe the essential oil, the notes of it as well. Okay, so in no particular order, the first one I have here is Scotch Pine. So, as you might imagine, it's woodsy, and it's definitely kind of an evergreen aroma. It smells kind of Christmassy. It's nice. It's not super in your face evergreen. I like it. Sometimes I find those scents really strong and a little bit overpowering. This is really, really nice. Okay, and they describe it as a top note with just woody evergreen, and I would agree. I think that's a very accurate description of it. Okay, the next one is called Ho-Wood, H-O, wood, Ho-Wood. And I've seen a couple of people use this, not super common, but I have seen it used before. Oh, that is lovely. Gosh, how to describe it? How would I describe this? It's a little woody, kind of floral, I would say. Soft, not super strong. There's something else there. Maybe kind of like a green note or kind of an herbaceous note. Okay, let's see how they describe it. Ho-Wood. A middle note with a sweet woody scent like rosewood and camphorous notes. Now, I've never smelled rosewood. This is lovely. I mean, that's a really nice scent. I really like that. Okay, next is Pennyroyal. I don't know that I've ever seen anybody use this. I mean, I'm sure people have, but I don't. I watch a lot of soap videos and read soap blogs and things like that. I don't think I've seen Pennyroyal mentioned. Ooh, this is kind of minty. It's very fresh. I like this too, Pennyroyal. Yeah, I would call it fresh and minty, but not like peppermint or spearmint. A little touch of sweetness. Not a lot. I would definitely say like spearmint is very sweet smelling. This just has kind of a hint of sweetness to it, but definitely minty. That's really nice. Pennyroyal. They describe it as a top note with peppermint-like, but less minty, sweet and herbaceous. And I absolutely would agree. I don't know if I got the herbaceous one as much, but I will also say I don't know that I am like I don't think I have the most sensitive nose in the world, but okay, this is one called Hedda Chiam. I think I'm saying it right, but ooh. This immediately reminds me of patchouli. Not quite as like kick you in the face, if you know what I mean. If you are someone who doesn't like patchouli, which I do not, I'm not a fan of straight patchouli, just smelling it out of the bottle. I love patchouli when it's mixed in with a blend because I think it gives it just fantastic depth to a blend of essential oils. But by itself, I think it's kind of gross. So this reminds me a little bit of patchouli, but not as, not as strong, not as like forceful as patchouli is, but definitely kind of earthy. See, now that I said patchouli, I can't get that out of my head because that's really, to me it smells very, very similar, just a less strong version of it. Okay. They call this a middle note with warm and woody warm and woody notes with hints of spice and soft floral. I don't get the floral at all. I guess I get, now that I read it, I guess I could get behind a little bit of spice note there. That gets, I can sort of see that. I don't get the floral there that they describe, but okay, Palmarosa. This is really, really light. I'm having a hard time even sort of pinpointing the notes here. Gosh, if I had to say something, I'd say maybe herbaceous, kind of, yeah, like, but super light. There's a little bit of like sharpness there, which is why I'm saying herbaceous, but it's like at the very end of, you know, when you're taking kind of a smell and you're like smelling it, like it's sort of like at the very end I catch this like sharp herby note to it. Yeah, I don't know, it's okay, it's not my favorite, it's not bad, but it's really, really light. Palmarosa. So it says it's a middle note, sharp floral notes with a hint of rose. Ah, gosh, I would never have described this as sharp and floral. I could get a little floral in there, right? Like I think it's very light, so I would say like an herby floral. That's what it seems like to me, but I would not have described this as sharp floral here. Hints of rose. You know, maybe, like, again, this seems so light to me, I had a hard time even putting my finger on it, but, yeah, this, if you're looking for, like, a super just light and delicate fragrance, I think this would work well. It's certainly not bad, but, okay. This is Petitgrain, and it's from Sicily. Okay, it's definitely a little citrusy. That's like the first thing I get. And after that, it almost has like a little bit of a medicinal kind of smell to it. All right, sometimes people call that camphorous, I guess. Yeah. It's nice, it's light, citrusy, and a little bit of like sharp, kind of medicinal kind of notes to it. That's what I get, Petitgrain. So, orange blossom, but less floral, herbaceous with a bitter undertone. Yeah, that's a pretty good description, I think. I didn't get the bitter so much. Smell good. Yeah, I get orangey and herbaceous. That definitely resonates with me, their description there. I don't get the bitter so much. But again, I don't think I'm always the most sensitive nose. Now this last one I got was just a tiny little one because it's super expensive. I think this size, these are 3.3 ounces. And I got ones that, again, they're a little bit unusual, but they're not crazy expensive for any one of these individually. But I think this one in this size is like $68. So that was just like a little bit crazy for just sort of playing around, you know. But it's called Galbanum, G-A-L-B-A-N-U-M, Galbanum. And I just sort of picked it randomly. I read the description, I think, and it sounded interesting. So I just got a little tiny sample size of it just to smell it. And I think even this little sample size was like $8 or something. But so Galbanum. Yeah, very, very green, very like fresh cut grass, but woodsier. I'm having a hard time actually getting past the green notes. That they're very forward. I'm not going to call it strong. Like it's, well, they're kind of strong too, but they're definitely like that is the first thing that you get, and it's sort of lingering when I smell it. There's a hint of something else there, but so yeah, green and woodsy. Right there, I just had a hint of that, whatever that other thing is. Okay. It's nice. It's very, very, like, it's definitely like, I would say, like, if, you know, there are people who love the smell of fresh cut grass. They love it. And then there are people who hate it. I have a feeling people would react the same way to this. It's very strong in the green notes. So I'm almost sure I got this one simply because I read the description of it and it sounded interesting. But they describe it as intensely fresh, green, leafy odor with bark-like notes. I don't know that I would have said intensely fresh. You know, I guess when I think of fresh, I think more of like cottony notes, linen notes, ocean notes, like those kinds of things. Those would have been fresh, I think. But this is intensely green, I'm going to say. That's what I would say. Definitely green leafy. I think that's the difference. Like when I'm saying fresh cut grass, like how strong that is. It is strong in that sense, but it's not necessarily smelling like fresh cut grass. But it definitely smells like leaves. Like that, now that I read it again, like that is definitely a good description of this. Intensely leafy green notes here. Okay, and then as a little special bonus, I got a Bramble Berry order also, and I got a little sample from them. This is spiced red tea. It's just a little sample. That is really nice. Now I like tea notes. I like Earl Grey tea. There's a fragrance out there, Earl Grey tea. There's a Rubio's tea fragrance out there. I like tea. Oh, I have one called Boston Tea Party from Nature's Garden that I love. That's just like a sweet iced tea fragrance. So I really like tea fragrances. This is nice. It's spicy. It's like a spicy tea. Not like a chai tea. Oh, that's another one I have. I have a chai tea fragrance that I love. It's more like a cinnamony kind of tea. Oh, you know what it reminds me a little bit of? That fragrance is, remember that candy Red Hots? They were cinnamon kind of flavored. It reminds me a little bit of that. So like sweet and cinnamon-y and tea. It's really nice. This would make a great, this would be a great fall fragrance, I think. So, or maybe even like a holiday fragrance, I think. It would be good. So, okay, that's it. Just kind of a quick, fun video. So, I'm not even really sure what I'm going to do with these. I didn't really have a plan. I just wanted to get a couple to smell them and see what they were like. So, what do you think I should do with some of my unusual essential oils here? Leave comments down below. Give me some suggestions. And maybe I'll pick one of them and do them, okay? All right, that's it. Have a great day, and check back here for more soapy and crafty videos at Divinely Design. Bye, y'all.